flight attendants share travel secrets and tips, and make sure you stay tuned till the very end to find out what annoys flight attendants. And welcome back, everyone. So happy to have you back for another update. Make sure to check out the last video pinned in the comments as well as in the description box on what not to wear on an airplane. You do not want to miss that information. CNN Travel spoke with flight attendants with roughly 10 to 20 years of experience working with major airlines. Tip number one, download all of the apps for the airline that you are traveling with. And remember, you can delete those apps once your travel is over. They suggest downloading the apps for departure and destination updates, as well as apps that track flight arrivals like Flight Aware. Sometimes the apps will update before the airport or the airplane overhead make announcements. This way you will always be in the loop. You can always see what is coming in terms of delays with these apps, and it will help you to avoid extra stress when traveling. Now also you want to arrive at the gate early. Maybe it will be in your best interest to avoid going to get something to eat or walking around the airport if your boarding will start soon, because they have noted that many passengers have missed their flight because they were not paying attention to the boarding time after sitting in the airport for hours. You don't want that to happen to you. Also, usually boarding starts 30 minutes prior, and most of the time they want to have that door closed within 10 to 15 minutes before departure. This is why you want to be updated with that boarding time frame, because once that door is closed, you will not be able to get on that plane at all. If you have got the airline and the airport apps, you can check for updates, and this way you will know exactly when they will start boarding. Next, if your flight is canceled or delayed, avoid customer service lines. When things go wrong, rather than waiting in that line with other frustrated passengers, it is worth it to use your cell phone to search options online or to call the airline helplines. All right. The flight attendant also recommend speaking with the gate agents over the customer service team, because the gate agents often have more knowledge that they can pass on, as well as they can help you resolve numerous other situations. If you are at the gate and you are waiting and there are delays, you can always talk to the gate agent right there, and they have the power and knowledge to give you different updates on different flights or any other issues that you may have in that moment. Consider whether checking your luggage is necessary. You may want to stick with a small carry-on bag, as they are stating many times those check-in bags are indeed lost. And if you're finding it hard to carry just a small on bag, you should evaluate how you are packing your luggage, because it states that an easily accessible change of clothes and some toiletries is mostly what you need in that carry-on, just in case you have delays, or if you have to stay overnight and suddenly you have to spend the night at a hotel. You want to make sure in that carry-on you just have your basic necessities and not all of the extras. Charge your devices and download your entertainment in advance. Download movies to your cell phone or tablet in advance. Bring portable chargers and prepare to entertain yourself just in case the devices on the plane are not working properly. Also, if you choose the lowest airfare, there's always no guarantee that you will end up seated with the family or friends you are traveling with. So they are suggesting that you pay for this ahead of time to avoid any onboard stress. You want to pay for exactly what you want. So if you want to sit in a particular seat with different family members and friends, make sure to pay for that up front. But sometimes it states here that checking in early will allow you to pick your seat free of charge. So you want to arrive early just in case you want to sit next to a specific individual. They also suggest that if you have seating issues, it is advisable that you try to speak with the person you would like to switch seats with beforehand, and then afterwards let the flight attendant know that you are changing seats with that individual. If a flight is delayed, the cabin crew will usually make an announcement asking those with connecting flights to make themselves known. So if you have a connecting flight, you want to let the flight attendants know, because they will usually allow those people to get off the plane first so that they can meet their connecting flight. Cabin crew want flights to leave on time, and they want the travel process to go as smoothly as possible. So if you're in the back of that airplane, you have a connecting flight, the flight was already delayed, make sure to let the flight attendant know so they can allow you to get off the plane first. And also, it states here, flight attendants are just as clueless as us, the passengers, in terms of delays. In fact, travelers tracking their flight on their devices usually have more information in terms of delays and other issues than the flight crew. So if they are not aware, make sure to stay calm, because they do not have any more information than what they are disclosing to you. Also, they are advising while traveling to make sure you are traveling with kindness, not only to the flight attendants, but with your fellow passengers as well. It does help when people are kind, they said, because it is exhausting traveling, being on a flight with those who make the experience more enjoyable or ideal. So make sure to be kind when traveling, and don't rely on the airline as your primary source of food. If you can bring certain snacks that you prefer, make sure to do so. Now, here is that special tip on what flight attendants do not like. They spoke to two flight attendants who both work for top airlines, and they disclosed that discourteous passengers touching the flight attendant to get their attention as they walk by. This is what annoys flight attendants. So if you are one of those that do that, make sure to keep that in mind the next time you are traveling. Also, complaining about weather or aircraft maintenance delays, they also do not like that, because they don't have any control over these particular things, and they are inconvenienced just as the passengers. And one more thing, they do not choose what they serve. Simply, they show up, do their job, and serve what is there. So if you want something different, or if you have special dietary needs, make sure to bring that with you as well. These are the things that annoy flight attendants. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe.